Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to welcome you here today. I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to come on here. Kind of right on time, I guess. I thought I was a little bit early, but I guess I'm not. So, again, Creating Cards with Debbie, and my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and we're going to be doing 3 greeting cards today. So, hope you'll enjoy those. Let me go ahead and turn my camera around and we'll go ahead and get started. So hold on tight here. Let me get my cameras changed. Okay. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and um, you can shop in my store, which I'm going to put across the bottom banner here. Okay, it's scrolling across the bottom. It is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And I'd appreciate if you would shop with me if you don't have another demonstrator that you're working with. Um, I'd so appreciate your business. And if you need to email me about any questions, you can reach me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. So I'm going to let that scroll for a moment so you can see that my website for shopping is underneath there. And that's for any paper products, for Stampin' Up! Products. We have um, products for making cards, paper crafting, scrapbooking. So we've got a large variety of things in there. Okay, so I want to tell you about Paper Pumpkin for this month is Sweeter With You. And it says that it has it says craft sweet handmade cards featuring sun-kissed strawberries and breezy gingham. And we are in the summer months now starting, so strawberries are one of those specialties during the summertime. It makes 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs with 8 coordinating envelopes, pre-cut paper pieces and vellum accents, hand-painted card-based designs. And the Stampin' Spot that comes with this one is going to be the garden green. And it says charming gingham box coordinates with the kit, so you can see what it's looking like. Very pretty. Okay, and then Paper Pumpkin has 3 months of dies that coordinate with the next 3 months, which would be July, August, and September. And you can add these on to your Paper Pumpkin subscription. And it says, get the circle of season dies while supplies last. And these are item number 167277, and they're $12. So it's quite a few dies for that cost. You got the hello, then the strawberry. It's got the outside of it, and then it's got the inside detailed parts of it. And then we've got a round circle die and a flower and some leaves. So it's got a big variety of dies in there. Okay, so with the Paper Pumpkin kit, you can pay as you go, which would be $27 per month for each kit, and that includes your shipping. So, and it says that you can earn $2 in Stampin' Rewards for each kit for each month. So that's a little extra too. Okay. And then don't forget, today is June 30th, and that means that it's the last day to take advantage of our sweet sale. It says all sweets and sweet products, buy one, get one 50% off. And like I said, that ends today, June 30th. So you might want to check that out before the day is over. It says save big during this buy one, get one 50% off sale on all sweets and sweet products. This sale includes all sweets and sweet products from the 2025 to 2026 annual catalog and online exclusives. Shop these sweets and more during the sale. All right, and then also July 16th to the 18th, 2025, Stampin' Up! Is offering a virtual album retreat. And it says during this 3-day virtual event, you'll create 12 scrapbook spreads, craft with a community that loves memory keeping, Learn new techniques and interact at a personal level with fellow crafters and Stampin' Up staff. By purchasing the month-by-month album retreat 2025 kit, which is number 167338, you'll get access to an exclusive Facebook group where the live event will be held. This kit is available for order starting May 28th, but we've already passed that date, so it's still going on. The cost of it is $250, which seems kind of high, but when you break it down to everything that you get, it's really not, because you'll be doing 12 pages, and that'll be double pages, so really it's 24 pages. And it's cracked with a new month-by-month kit album retreat. So it kind of shows here where you've got 2 pages on each month. So, and you'll also get, it contains exclusive stamp sets and die cuts, pre-cut pieces of designer series paper, and two-tone cardstock. Two-tone cardstock sheets, embellishments, memory protectors, flip-flaps, and photo placeholders. It doesn't include an album. You don't need an album to complete this kit, but using an album is a great way to keep your spreads together in one place. Once you've finished making all your spreads, you can put them in an album you have on hand or consider purchasing one. If you're a scrapbooker, that's really a good opportunity for you. And if you're wanting to get into scrapbooking, that's also another good opportunity for you. All right, so we've had some new online exclusives that have just came out. So you might want to check those out. And don't forget about our last chance products. That's all in my store. You can find all these items. All right, so that's enough of the housekeeping notes. Let's go ahead and put that aside. We'll go ahead and get started. Let me take my banner off the bottom there so you can see the screen better. All right, today we're going to be doing using one of the new online exclusives that's starting tomorrow, July 1st. You can purchase this. It's Long Time No See, and it's got the llama and the dog, and it's got Happy Birthday, Merry Christmas, Long Time No See, and then Sorry I'm a Little Behind. So it's a really cute set. I really enjoyed working with this one. So let's go ahead and get started with those. The first one I'm going to do is going to be a long card. And this will fit into our business envelopes that you can purchase at your big box stores or whatever, Walmart or anywhere that sells paper products, I guess, is where you can get that. So this one says Long Time No See, and you can see I stretched out the wiener dog there, so he's really cute. And then on the inside, I just stamped Can't Wait to See You Again Soon. And that sentiment comes from another online exclusive that's starting tomorrow. It's called Charming Day. This has got some good sentiments in it. It's got Thanks for Being You, Happy Birthday, Can't Wait to See You Soon, Hey, and You Made My Day. And then it's got some pretty flowers with it. And that comes as a bundle or separately if you don't want the dies. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our cute little dog here. And the instructions over here. And I'm going to start out with my bits and pieces here. Be sure you like and share the video if you're watching me on Facebook. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you'll be notified when I go live. All right, we're going to start out with our thick white cardstock, and this measures 7.5 inches by 8 3/4 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 3 3/4 inches. So we're just going to burnish that fold line really good. Let me bring up my comments. I can watch my comments when everybody says anything. So be sure that you say hello when you come on. Let us know where you're watching us from. It's always fun to see where everybody is. Okay, so here's our card base. Now we're going to add our strawberry slush cardstock, which measures 3 5/8 inches by 8 5/8 inches. And that's going to go onto the front of our cards. We're going to go ahead and attach that with our liquid glue or adhesive of your choice. And I've got a brand new bottle here, so it's coming out really good today. I don't have to beat on it. And put that on the front of our card. And I'm going to leave just a small white space going all around it. Just a tiny edge around it. And then I've got our basic white, which is 3 inches by 8 inches. And we're going to stamp our dog on there. And I'm going to bring my dog over here. And I'm going to mask off part of the dog because we want to make him longer than what he is. So I'm going to just stamp his head first. I'm going to mask off the rest of the dog with my Scotch tape here. We don't want to get ink where we don't want it. So I'm going to bring my black Memento ink over here. And I'm just going to get the edge of the dog here. His head, her head, his head. Not sure if it's a boy or a girl. And don't forget to pull that tape off again. You don't want to make a mess on your card. And I don't want to touch that black ink, so I'm going to put that over there out of my way. Okay, then we're going to bring our card back over here. I'm going to stamp him off to the right side, centered. And that didn't do right, so let me see if I can't match this up a little bit better. And I don't know if I can line that up. I may have to turn it over and do it. But we'll try it and see what happens. No, got to turn it over. And let me ink this little fella up again. And okay, now he's better. So I'm going to bring my Simply Chamois over here, and I'm going to clean that stamp off. And got some ink down those grooves. I want to make sure I get that out of there. And now we're going to bring over this image, and this is going to make him a long dog, a long wiener dog. We have a friend that has dachshunds. They're cute. I've never had one myself. I had an aunt and uncle that had one. His name was Wiener, like wiener, but Wiener. Okay. And set that there for now. We won't clean that right just yet. All right, now I'm going to do his tail. So I'm going to bring my Scotch tape back over here. We're going to mask that off again. So I think probably right about here should do it. So I'm just going to tape it off in the center there. I don't need to worry about his head being covered. I'm going to place my image just at the back side of the dog. Pick up some ink. And I picked up a little extra there I didn't want, but that's all fine. And I'm going to match up my lines. I've got a little smudge there, but we can cover that up when we do our coloring. Close up our ink pad. And I'm going to color this little feller. And we're going to use the light and dark smoky slate, the dark and light crumb cake, and our strawberry slush. And I'm missing one. Got put over here. Okay, so light and dark strawberry slush, light and dark smoky slate, and light and dark crumb cake. So our crumb cake is going to be for our dog itself. So I'm going to do the dark crumb cake first. I'm going to just do some shading here. I'm going to color in his ears with the dark. I'm not really on camera here. Let me get over here. And I think I'm going to do his paws with the dark crumb cake. And then I'm going to do the rest of them with the light crumb cake. I'm not going to color this whole thing because I've already colored one ahead of time. So I'm just going to show you kind of the idea of what I did. Oops, that was his sleeve. That wasn't his leg. Okay. And then I'm going to color his backside with the light crumb cake. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Our weather here in Arkansas is still pretty toasty hot. We're in the 90s yet. I'm not sure what the heat index is for today again. It's up there. A good time to sit in the house and make some cards, paper crafts. All right, so now I'm going to use my strawberry slush. I'm going to start with the dark strawberry slush. And I'm just going to get some shading on his sweater. And I guess I could come back in here and do the sleeve here that I messed up with the other. And all right, now we're going to come back with the light strawberry slush. And we'll fill that in. Stampin' Up! Used to have the envelopes for the long cards here, but I'm not sure if we still do or not. I should have checked my inventory this morning. I didn't check it. It might still be in there yet. All right, oops, I forgot to do the back of the sweater here. I'm going to do that with the dark. All right, so now we're going to do, we're going to alternate the strawberry slush with the smoky slate. I'm going to do both are going to be the light blends. So I'm going to start out with the smoky slate light. And we'll do the light strawberry slush for the next one. And again, the smoky slate, just every other one. So you just kind of get the idea here. I'm going to keep going with it, but I've already done one ahead of time, so we're not going to color this whole thing. Let me finish this one right here. Okay, so you continue alternating until you get all the way to the end. And then we're going to emboss it using I used the plaster painting 3D embossing folder, and I embossed my dog after I got done coloring him. So, I use that one. And then we're going to put that right in the center. But first we'll want to put our bow across the edge of it. So I tied a bow and I left the tails a little bit longer. So I'm going to take those tails of that bow and I'm going to string them across this edge, and then I'm going to put them around to the back side and attach them. So as long as I got my Scotch tape here, let's just go ahead and use that to hold our ribbon down. Little strips off of that, and turn this around so I get it even. And I want to make sure that's tight enough so it holds it in place. Okay, so here we have that. And then we're going to attach that to our card front. And I didn't use any dimensionals. I just put it directly down to my card. It'll go through the mail a little easier, less thickness. And when you have a layer that's embossed, you want to make sure you get up against the edges really good so it doesn't lift on you or curl up or whatever. And a little extra in the middle, don't hurt any. Now we're going to place that onto our card, and we'll center that. Set down. And all right, there's our card so far. Isn't she cute? Thank you, sweet bee. And then I'm going to decorate her. Well, let's do our sentiment first. I got a scrap piece of our strawberry slush. We're going to stamp "Long Time No See," which is in that stamp set also. So bring back our black memento tape or stamp pad. I moved the tape away, and I'm saying that instead of my ink pad. All right, so we're going to stamp "Long Time" and "No See." Oops, here I'm goofing. It's supposed to go on the white. See, I'm getting myself off keister here. All right, "No See" on the white, and "Long Time," "Long Time No See" on the white. And put that ink pad, avoid any accidents here. And I'm going to bring my paper snips over here, and I'm going to snip these apart. And I'm going to snip all the words so they're separately. So we're just going to use our paper snips and cut those apart. And then I'm going to place it onto little strips of strawberry slush. Okay, "Long Time." And "No See." I'll cut that down to size. And "See." All right. get rid of my trash here. And I'm going to bring our words over here. And I'm just going to attach them to my paper. And then I'll cut them out. And all right. And now we'll snip those off. And they don't have to be exactly straight or anything. So we're just going to snip the edges off a little bit. Okay. Oops, I got a little piece on here I need to trim off. Let's come back here. Yeah. All right, now we're going to place those onto our card front. So we're going to start out with long. And place that above his tail. Long time. I'm going to place this one down towards the middle of the card. Whoops. Come on, stick there. Well, I guess I need more glue on there. Well, they're not sticking very good. I guess because of the embossed layer, I'm not holding them down long enough. Okay, long time, no C. No C. All right. And now we want to add some embellishments to that. So I'm going to be using just our basic rhinestones. And I take your pick tool, use the putty end to get those off with. And I'm going to be using the small ones. I'm going to place one onto the dog's neck there. Kind of looks like his collar. And I'll go with a large right there, and then a medium-sized. Okay, so there's the front of our card. Long time no see. Now let's do the inside. I'm going to use the sentiment that was out of the Charming Day, and I'm going to use the Can't Wait to See You Again Soon sentiment. Did I not have that in there? No, I didn't take it out. Here we go. Give me a block here. And our black memento ink again. Just inked up my stamp pad so it's kind of juicy. All right, we're going to stamp that right in the center. Got ink pad again. Make sure I don't have any ink on my fingers to transfer to my card. Okay, long time no see, and can't wait to see you again soon. So that's our first card. And like I said, you can use just the regular business envelopes, the large ones. It'll work for it. Okay, so that's our first card. Let me go ahead and clean off my stamps here before we go into our second card. And that's all of them. Those are ready to go again. All right. And again, we're using that same stamp set. Instructions out here. I'm going to use the llama this time. It says, long time no see. And on the inside, can't wait to see you again soon. Same sentiment. All right, I'm using the thick white again, and this one's going to go this way. It's going to be 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2 inches. So let's burnish that whole line. And then the designer series paper, we're using this is one of our new ones. It's one of our online exclusives, just came out. So it's got all these pretty patterns. Let me go ahead and show these before we get started. It's got this one, that side, this, that side. Both are the same. All right, then we've got this pattern with this on the back, and we're going to be using this one today. And you get 2 of each design. And then we've got this green and that on the back. And this one with that on the back. This is called Need for Tweed. All right, and my designer series paper measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, and we're going to go ahead and attach that to the front of our card. These are adhesive, and I thought about using that side too, but I think I'm going to stick with the same as my other card. You could use either side. I like both. It's hard to decide which side to use. And we're just going to attach that to the front of our card front and leave a little border going around it, little edge. Let's scooch that up. Yeah, it's good enough right there. All right, there's the front of our card. And then we're going to have a cherry cobbler layer, which measures 2 3/4 inches by 4 5/8 inches. And I embossed this using, what is it called? The exposed brick 3D embossing. And this is going to go at an angle on the front of our card. So we can go ahead and attach that, and then we'll get to our stamping. Hard to believe that this weekend is 4th of July, Friday. I don't know where June has gone to. It's gone so fast. Well, this whole year has already gone fast. All right, so this is going to go at an angle on the front of that designer series paper. And then we're going to bring a strip of our basic white, which measures 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And we're going to stamp our llama on there. And we'll start with the head first. And she's going to have a long neck like our dog did. And stamp that towards the top in the center. And then we're going to do the long neck. I'm going to turn this sideways to get it to match up. I want to match up to the top of her neck of her sweater. Okay, so that's good for that right now. And then I'm going to bring over my blends. I'm going to use a variety here. We're going to use cloud cover. Ivory is going to be for our llama. So I'm going to go ahead and color her first, and then I'll get to the scarf. So this is ivory. You could use crumb cake or something too, but this is a lighter brown, I think. And I'm going to get some of these a little darker just by giving it a little bit more extra ink. So like on the top of his head there, I'm going to go a little darker with that. So go over it a couple of times to make it a little darker. And the same with his nose. Did that a little bit darker. So the rest of it's going to be just the lighter. The ivory doesn't come with a light or a dark. It's just the ivory. All right, so I'm going to take my brush tip and fill in the rest of our face here. You can put as little or as much as you want. Smooth that out a little bit. All right, so that's our ivory. And now we're going to start out with our other colors, which are going to be, I'm going to be using cherry cobbler, not the strawberry slush this time. And okay, cloud cover. Well, I'm going to go with pool party. I'm going to switch it up. We're going to use pool party. And cherry cobbler. And granny apple green. So just 3 colors. So I'm going to start with the cherry cobbler, and I'm going to start with a light, and then I'm going to come back in and do some shading with that, with the dark. I didn't color one of these ahead of time, so you have to bear with me. And do a little shading with the dark. And nothing fancy, just get it colored. Oops. We want to go to our next color. It's going to be our Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to start with the light on that one too. Yes, it has gone super fast. Oops. I got a little line right there a little bit, but maybe our bow will cover that up. All right. And then our pool party light. And dark pool party. And we'll go back to our cherry cobbler again. And the light, cherry cobbler. And a little shading. And Granny Apple Green light. And dark Granny Apple Green. Pool party light. And dark pool party. Light cherry cobbler. I should have done one of these ahead of time. Watching me color here. It's probably kind of boring. And green. Granny Apple Green. And pool party again. Well, we're getting there slow but sure here. I didn't know the llama's neck was so long. And okay, cherry cobbler. I was thinking I forgot a color here, but I guess I'm okay. Had myself confused there for a moment. Right, and Granny Apple Green, light. And dark Granny Apple Green. Pool Party, light. And we're getting to the bottom finally. Pool Party and one last cherry cobbler. I think I'm going to just use the dark on this one. Yeah, little thin line across the bottom. Okay, set those aside. Okay, so we finally got them finished. All right, now we're going to stamp. Well, let's go ahead and attach him to the card front. And use just my glue. You could put them on dimensionals, but I didn't. In fact, I think none of my cards today I'm using any dimensionals. That's kind of odd. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. Okay, now this is going to go straight on in the center, kind of. And I want to make sure that my edges of my cherry cobbler are going to be showing on each side. And put him down just a hair. There we go. And then I've got some Granny Apple cardstock here, a scrap. We're going to stamp our sentiments on there. And we're going to be using those same ones, Long Time No See. Our black Memento ink. So, Long Time No See. And we're going to snip these out. I'm going to keep my Long Time all one piece. I'm not going to cut it apart. And I'm going to trim that down just a bit. Okay, there's Long Time. And No See is going to be cut apart. I'm going to cut them down shorter. And snip it apart. Long Time No See. Bring our card back over here. Long Time. Okay. Long Time No See. Oops, I almost put my C upside down. Okay, we're going to put him right about there. Okay, and I didn't make a bow for this one. So I'm going to bring my bow maker over here and make a bow. I don't know how I missed doing that. And it's just going to be a small one, so I'm just going to use these 2 center holes. And I'm using this ribbon. It is the just ribbon, and it's white ribbon. Okay. So See if I can do this live or not. Usually my fingers are fumbling when I try to do bows on videos. Okay, I'm going to turn that so it's facing the other direction here. All right, ribbon scissors. Those aren't my ribbon ones, but they'll work. All right, and then we're going to put a little bow onto his neck there, and I'm going to use the mini glue dots. Press that on there, bring my Make Your Pick tool here, use that pointy end to pop that off of my roll, and place that down. All right, and then we've got to add some bling to our little guy here. So I'm using the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems, and these are in our last chance, and they were $8.50, marked down to $7.65, and then again down to $6.80. So they're still available. I just checked them this morning. So we're going to bring our Take Your Pick tool. We're going to take off 3 of the green ones here. So I'm going to be using the larger ones. I'm going to put one up here. Another maybe right there. And another one down in this corner. All right, so here's the front of our card. He is cute. He or she. Could be either a boy or a girl. And on the inside, we're just going to stamp our sentiment. Well, okay, long time no see. Can't wait to see you again soon. Our black memento. We stamp that right in the center, the inside of our card. I didn't put an extra layer inside the card. You can or not. I chose not to. I just stamped directly on the inside of the card. So it says, long time no see, and can't wait to see you again soon. So that's our second card. And our third one, I don't have it prepared ahead of time, so it's going to be a create on the fly, I guess, is what you call it. I've got a little bit of the prep worked in, but I don't have it completely finished. So we're going to start out with our card base, which is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line with our bone folder. And I've got some choices on our next layer. I use the embossing folder, the Join Together 3D embossing folder. But I was undecided if I wanted to go with the white, very vanilla, a basic beige, or white. So I'm going to kind of play with it and see which looks the best. And I've also did some of the prep work on the llamas. So I've got the coloring all done on those. So I've got 3 llamas. And none of them are the same size. There's one long one, a medium size, and then a shorter one. So these are our llamas that I've already colored and stamped, colored, and fussy cut out. There's no dye for it. But I'm debating on which color of the embossed layer to use. So I don't know. I think if I cut out between the ears, get rid of that white layer, I think it might work out better. So let me go ahead and trim those down a little bit. And hopefully I don't cut off any ears that I'm not supposed to. We've got a little time. We're pretty much on schedule here, so we can take more time on this one. Get rid of those centers and then it'll look better. I know some people don't like to fussy cut, but I don't mind it too much if it's not real complicated. These are pretty simple lines to be able to cut out. Okay, and this little feller. I'm leaving a little bit of white edge around the llama, but it's not that much that it shouldn't contrast too much, I don't think. And trim that down just a tiny bit. Get rid of some of that white area. All right, so that would look better. So I don't know. I need somebody's opinion. The white layer, the very vanilla, or the basic beige? Which one do you think we should use? And that'll go on to our crumb cake card base. I'm kind of liking the basic beige. What do y'all think? Give it all a moment here and I'll get the rest of my things out here. Yeah, I think so too, the basic beige. So let's go with that one. We're in agreement here. I'll save those for another project later on. All right, so I want to arrange our llamas, and I'm going to I want the taller one in the middle. At first, I'm going to wrap some of our jute trim. This is the 2023 to 2025 in color jute trim, and it's in our last chance area. It was $8. It's marked down for the second time to $5.60, and it is still available. I checked it this morning also. So we're going to take this jute trim and we're going to put it around the lower portion of our embossed layer. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that if I can with my fumble fingers here. And I want to put it off to the left side a little bit. So I'm just going to tie it in a knot. I'm not going to try tying a bow. So just a little knot. And where's my scissors? There they are. That's some pretty thick stuff here. It's thicker than our regular baker's twine is. And all right, now let's start layering these little guys. That one in the center. This one, we'll tuck underneath that. And the same with this one, we'll tuck them underneath. Okay, sort of like that. So let me go ahead and attach those with my liquid glue. We'll start with this one and this. Do I want him on the top of that or I want him under it? I think we're going to put him under the trim. Slide him, have his ears meet at the top. And we're going to cut off that excess that's hanging over. Oops, come back here. And this one's going to go up underneath that twine there. And our short little feller. All right. And then we're going to trim off that excess. I'm going to bring in my paper snips here. And we'll just snip those off even with our embossed layer. And we'll put that onto our card front. I think I might put dimensionals on the back of this one. I'm going to break my rule here. I said I didn't use any dimensionals, but I've changed my mind. And being that this twine is so thick, it needs to have a little lift there. And we'll put extras. And another one right there. And I take your pick tool to pop those off with. Missed that one. Okay, bring our card over and we'll place that down. Okay, so far. And trim down my birthday a little bit more here. I stamped our happy birthday onto our basic beige cardstock. And where did my happy go? It's hiding underneath everything here. So we're going to put happy over here and birthday we'll put right about there. So happy birthday. All right, and then I've got some gems here. These are the neutral matte dots, and these are on my exclusive. I'm going to use the darker beige here. Take your pick tool and grab our embellishments. Well, there we go. This is the hardest decision, is where to put them. Yeah. Let's use the other end of this and lift that off of there. I don't know where I want to put it. Maybe over here. And I don't really care for it there either. Scooch it down just a bit right here. Okay, so here's our front of our card. And on the inside, we're going to put a layer of, where are my innards? Mm-hmm. Well, I've misplaced my inside of my card here. Give it a moment here. I'm going to put inside is going to be our basic, that's a very vanilla. That's a basic beige. It measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp, sorry, I'm a little behind. Sometimes we don't get our cards out in time, so it'll be fitting to be a little bit later in case we miss somebody's birthday. So sorry, I'm a little behind. And right up here in the upper left-hand corner. And that's kind of crooked. Let's go try that again. That's better. Good thing we got 2 sides to every cardstock. And it's going to go on the inside of our card. And try to put it in there straight. Okay. So happy birthday. Sorry, I'm a little behind. You could decorate the inside too. You could maybe stamp another llama in the inside if you wanted to. But for time-wise, I didn't do that today. I guess my time ain't too bad today. Pretty well on time. All right. Let me bring all of these out here. Some things out of the way. And I might play around with that a little bit. Let me trim that off just a bit. There. It's too long on that one side, I thought. Okay. And I have to do this a little different here. Let me see. Will it show? Well, I'm not getting all of them in the camera here. I guess they're kind of there. Well, somewhat in the camera view. So here is our first card, our second card, and our third card. So I'm glad that you're able to be here today to watch me. And be sure that you like and share the video if you're watching me on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell to be notified when I have new videos up or when I'm going live. And I appreciate it so much that you're here, and tell your friends about me. And I won't be here next Monday, which will be July 7th. I have an appointment that day that's conflicting with this, so I may have to reschedule it. I'm thinking I might go on Tuesday, the 8th, but I'll let you know for sure. I'll put it on my business page, my Creating Cards with Debbie page, and let you know. So until next week, y'all have a good rest of the week, and stay cool if you're in areas like we are in the South where we're having this heat wave going through. And get some me time in there, do some crafting. best time to take advantage of staying in the air conditioning. So until next week, we'll see you. Have a good rest of the week. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.